Hello everyone, Gameboy Viking here, and today we're going to be making some Game Boy Advance cases. So first, let's go ahead and get our labels. We're going to go to the cover project. I found is a very good source for it. It has all sorts of games. Let's go to the Game Boy Advance here. We're going to pick our game, and I think we're going to go with Earthworm Jim for today's demonstration. This looks like a really nice case label, so we'll go ahead and download that. It's pretty small, so let's go ahead and open it up. Now, the label for the cases that I have aren't quite the right size, so we're going to have to do a little bit of editing first. So I'm just going to take it into Paint, and we're going to go to Properties real quick. You can see the width and the height in inches and in pixels. If you need to change it, you can measure it out in inches, and it'll tell you what it is in pixels. We need to know what it is in pixels. Luckily, I already know what it is in pixels. So we're just going to go up here to Resize, down to Pixels. We're going to turn off the aspect ratio, and then we're just going to crank in the numbers that we need. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and this will give me the perfect size for the cases that I use, which the link is down below in the description for that. So now that I have it resized, we're going to do a quick print preview, and it looks like it's going to fit, but it's not. So we need to actually go to Page Setup. So now down here, it's set to fit. We actually want it to adjust 100%, and now it no longer fits on the page. I print mine on legal paper. Now if your printer supports marginless, you can set your margins to 0 and it should fit on a single normal paper, but mine doesn't. So now there we go. It's 100% size on legal paper, and we can print. I don't need to though because I already have it printed out, so we'll move on. Alright, now that we have our label cut out and everything, I just used an exacto knife and a metal ruler for a straight edge, and I stuck it in the case that I bought. Just an empty DS case. Your game goes right up in here. Now the problem that people have with these is this little strip right here. If you stick your game in the case, because this is not an official Nintendo case, it's just a cheap Chinese knockoff, the case doesn't quite close. This is the biggest complaint that people have, so we're going to go ahead and just take care of that right now. So let's take our game out and grab our trusty exacto knife, and we're going to go ahead and make a couple of notches here. You gotta press really hard. You don't really have to like saw back and forth. You should be able to push through. My blade is a little dull from doing this all day. I probably should replace my blade, but it's good enough. So we'll just put a notch right about there, and another notch right about there, right at the manual tab. And that'll give us an idea of where to score our line. So now we're just going to run our exacto knife across the bottom. Doesn't have to be very deep, just a nice little score there from one notch to the other. And then the plastic itself is pretty brittle, and you can just push it back. It's pretty tough. It doesn't have much bend to it, so if you push it back, it'll break right across that score. And there you go. Nice piece of plastic. Screw it. And that right there will give you plenty of extra room space to pop your game in. That way the case will actually close. Now, I kind of lost track of my game for a second, but I will find it eventually. Oh, here we go. Alright, so now we can pop our Earthworm Jim back into its case, and we'll see if it closes. And voila, there you go. One Game Boy Advance case if you don't have a box.